Hello, good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to another edition of Mind Talk with Dr. Slicks, right here on Worship from 94.9, your Fun Health radio station. I'm excited to be with you tonight as we dive into another powerful and personal, very interesting topic that we'll be giving out today. Once again, I'll be flying solo again today because my co-host is not available, so I'm going to be doing this all alone tonight. And I know you're out there and ready to listen and dive into our beautiful conversation that we'll be having tonight. Okay, so the topic for today is voices in my head. How to overcome the weight of doubt. Voices in my head. How to overcome the weight of doubt. You know those moments when your mind just won't stop talking, when you replay mistakes, second guess your decisions and wonder if you're good enough. That noise of doubt and it'll just comes creeping into your mind and you just begin to overthink and overthink and overthink. So tonight we're going to do everything to unpack it and discuss it. Look at what are the reasons or what are the problems, of overthinking and how do we prefer solutions to it. And of course, I've got a question for you today. Every listener, I just have this question for you. And the question of the day is, if you had a choice, which will you choose? Will you rather live well or live long? If you had a choice, would you prefer to live well or live long? That's the question for the day. I want to hear from you. Call in the studio or you send us a WhatsApp message or even a voice note. So I'm going to read out the studio line right now. The studio line you can call is 09060992609. 09060992609. Or you call 07041007949. 07041007949. And you could do a WhatsApp message or send a voice note and you call the WhatsApp number 09158494949. 09158494949. So you can call in through the studio line or you send a WhatsApp message. Let's just make this conversation very engaging, interactive, and real. So when we talk about the topic of the day, talking about voices in my head, overcoming the weight of doubt, the question is, how well do you doubt yourself? How many times have you really doubted yourself? Having that feeling that, can I ever do this thing? Second guessing all the time. I feel like it happens to almost everybody out there. There are lots of time I've also doubted my abilities. I've doubted my strengths. I've doubted even my knowledge. The kind of knowledge I have, I feel that, do you think I'm good enough? Do you think I can really handle this? So all of these things come in, into our lives. It plays out almost on a daily basis. No matter your level of education, no matter your level of exposure, no matter your background, you get to some certain levels and you just begin to second guess yourself. You begin to doubt yourself. You begin to overthink it and begin to ask yourself a lot of questions. Whether you're good enough, whether you can actually achieve what you've set out to achieve for yourself, whether you can even be able to break the jinx. Sometimes you don't look at it that there's a bit of barrier, there's a bit of ceiling for you as an individual, and you begin to look at yourself that, can I really break this thing? Okay, looking back at your family, maybe your family background, and you look at it that, okay, none of them in my family has been able to achieve this. None of them in my family has been able to break this jinx. None of them in my family has been able to surpass this level of success. And you just want to look at yourself that, can I really just do this? Is it possible I get to this level? And you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you have the skills, you have everything, you have the exposure, you even have the resources, but you begin to ask yourself those questions. Am I really good enough? Can I really achieve all of this thing? So all these things just come playing into your mind all the time, asking several questions, doubting yourselves all the time. And so this is the conversation we're going to be having tonight. We're going to be talking about the problems, talking about the solutions. And like I said, the question of the day is, if you have the power to choose, which will you prefer? Do you want to live well or you want to live long? Call the studio lines. I'm going to reel it out again. 09060992609, 07041007949. And you can call, drop a message on our WhatsApp number or drop a voice note, 09158494949. We're going to be taking a short break right now. And after this break, we will be right back. Stay tuned. You're still on Mind Talk on Wash FM 94.9. You're welcome back to Mind Talk 94.9 Wash FM. And tonight we're talking about how to overcome the weight of doubt. And also, don't forget the question of the day. If you have the choice to pick one out of the two, would you prefer to live well or to live long? And so, talking about the weight of doubt, doubting yourself is a very big thing. It is a very big thing. Trust me. I've been in that situation several times whereby I doubted myself for so long. And it was me just not believing in myself. I've gone through a lot of trainings. I've been exposed to a lot of resources, been exposed to a lot of opportunities. And even with all the knowledge, with everything I have, I still begin to doubt myself. And to be honest with you, doubt kills. Have you ever been in a situation whereby you close your eyes and you dream of something and say, okay, for instance, I love, or my dream car is a G-Wagon, for instance. Oh, I love this G-Wagon. It's very beautiful. That's my dream car. And you close your eyes and try to visualize yourself in that car. Immediately you're trying to enter that car, something just creeps into your mind that, can you really afford this thing? Why are you aiming too high? Why don't you just enter this Highlander that is in front of you? Now, your mind begins to, second guess all the time because you're looking at it that, yes, I really want this thing. This is what I would love to have. But your mind is telling you that, okay, look at your reality. Your finances, the resources you have, can you really afford getting this type of car? And you begin to limit your dream. Begin to limit what you have set out for yourself. And what do? You look for the lower option. This has happened to me several times, whereby I'm thinking of, okay, this is what I want to, this is the dream, this is the kind of dream I want to really have for myself. This is where I want to be. And each time I'm trying to visualize it, trying to even think it, something just drops in my mind like, do you think you can actually achieve this thing? Is this not too big for you? Is this not like a wild dream? Can you really achieve it? And so that doubt just begins to come into my mind and like, oh, is it really possible? Is it really possible? Is it really possible? But let me tell you something. The moment you begin to doubt, because doubt is like a crack on the wall. Once there's a crack, there's a problem. The moment you begin to doubt, you might not be able to galvanize your thought anymore towards that goal. And it begins to give you that limitation. You begin to limit your thinking, begin to limit your vision. And it affects you so much. That's how doubt works in our mind. The moment you doubt it, you might just be drowning and you might not even be aware of it. Now we'll continue with that. Let's just wait to take a short break. Let's pay our bills. We'll be right back. Yes, you're welcome back to Mind Talk with Dr. Slicks on Wash FM 94.9, your phone health radio. And tonight, we're talking about a conversation that it resonates with everybody. And we're talking about how to overcome the weight of doubt. Also, there's a question for us today. Every listener out there, you can call in to just put in a word or two. The question of the day is, if you had a choice, would you rather live well or live long? Just choose one. Just tell us which one you prefer. So you can call in, join in the conversation. The studio line is 09060992609, 09060992609, 07041007949, 07041007949. Or you can drop a message on WhatsApp or drop a voice note to the WhatsApp line 09158494949, 09158494949. So before the break, I was talking about how how doubt keeps drowning you as an individual and it limits your thinking. And so there are very common internal battles we face when it comes to self-doubt, and it shows up in different forms. And number one is it shows up as a way of overthinking certain things around yourself. When you begin to replay past mistakes or imagining worst case scenarios. I've had interactions with a lot of people, and you hear, I'm an overthinker. And you begin to ask questions. What do you mean by being an overthinker? Things happen, very minute things that doesn't even mean so much, and you just begin to overthink it and take it to different levels, and you're wondering like, oh boy, just this one thing that just happened. You don't think I can go far like this. No, now you know, reach like this now. And sometimes it's just as a result of past mistakes that has happened to you, and you begin to replay it and begin to see it as a signal that, oh, I hope I'm not going to make or repeat the same mistake. So overthinking is one of the common internal battles that comes up whenever we are having self-doubt. Also, negative self-talk is also a common internal battles that happen that really creeps into our life. Constantly hearing that word, you are not good enough. You just constantly hear that word. It just comes to you. Each time you're trying to achieve something, each time you're trying to do something new, each time you're trying to focus on something very positive, you just hear that voice. You might be doing well already. You might be doing well, and maybe just one person criticizes you or just tries to checkmate what you're doing and ask you questions and say, hey, are you really sure about what you're doing? Are you sure this thing will work? And next thing, that triggers negative self-talk. You just begin to hear that voice in your head. Are you good enough? Are you sure you're getting it right? Are you sure this thing won't fail? And if you allow that voice overpower the little positivity you have around yourself, then that's the end. You just realize that you're doing the wrong things. You're not doing it well anymore because you're already doubting your abilities. You're doubting your level of knowledge. You're doubting your level of skills. Things you know that, yes, you can do it. You just realize that you start fidgeting. You start getting nervous. Anxiety just begins to set in, and that might just ruin everything for you. And also, paralysis in decision making is also very important for us to understand. And this is the fear of making the wrong move. The fear of making the wrong move. You're just too scared. It just makes you stuck at the end of the day. Because by the time you're not able to take decisive decision, this even happens in a lot of relationships. You have relationships, and at the end of the day, you're just doubting yourself. Should I go for this? Should I not go for this? Is this guy good enough for me? The guy is already ticking all the right boxes. He's good, he's handsome, he's intelligent and all that. But because of past mistakes, or because of somebody who told you about something, your friend explained her own scenario with her boyfriend and all that, and you now begin to look at it, you're just in between. You don't know whether to say yes or to continue with the relationship or to just quit. You just get paralyzed and just get stuck in between. And you're too scared in making the wrong move. You're too scared because you don't want to make mistakes. And I always define fear in two ways. I always say, the word fear is F-E-A-R. So I define it either saying you either face everything and run, or you face everything and rise. You have two options. You either face it And once you face your fears and the fear faces you back and says, now maybe this, you run away from it and just avoid it. Or you face it, when I open eye to each other, and you face it once and for all. And the truth about it that once you face your fears, you just realize that you are rising above those fears. Because that fear will come to make you run back and, withdraw. But if you're able to face it once and for all, you just realize that you're rising above it. And those things that would rather scare you, you don't realize that, I'm on this thing, no hard reach like this now. You hear a lot of people, you're trying something new, and you hear a lot of people that don't try it to, nobody has achieved this thing before. Oh, but you just wonder but I can do it. But you're too scared to even make a try. You're too scared to even take a step. The moment you take that first step, you look at a child who is still learning how to work, for instance. The child will struggle, crawling, take one step. Sometimes you see parents saying, oh, come, you can do it. Oh, yeah, take a step, take it, come, trying to encourage the child. If the child should fall, some children will never make any attempt to even walk again. They would rather just be crawling because they are too scared that they will fall again. But there are some children, even if they fall, they will still keep trying. And the moment they get it right, you will see that gladness, that happiness inside of them. It just comes genuinely because you realize okay, finally I've surmounted this mountain. And that is one thing about life. Nothing comes easy. There's nothing that is easy. Everything has its own scary part. But the moment you are able to face your fear, so like I said, it's either you face everything and run, or you face everything and rise. So you must choose whether you want to face your fears or you want to run away from your fears. The phone lines are open. You can join us, join the conversation. 090-6099-2609. Or you call 07041007949. Or you can drop a message on WhatsApp. So you can drop a message on WhatsApp 091-5849-4949. Or you call the studio line 070-41007949. Join the conversation and let us hear your own side of the story. When did you experience self-doubt? At what point were you doubting yourself that you couldn't achieve anything, or you couldn't just, be able to get to that level you've always wanted to get to? How did self-doubt draw you back? How did it limit your thinking? How did it limit your achievement? And how were you able to overcome it? We'd like to hear your story. Just drop in a call, or you just drop a message or a voice note. 070-41007949. Or you drop a message on WhatsApp 091-5849-4949. So, talking about the common internal battles we have as individuals. Like I said, number one is overthinking, negative self-talk, paralysis in decision making, and also lastly is low self-esteem and comparison. This one is a real killer. Low self-esteem and comparison. It's a real killer. And truth be told, this is most times fueled by social media and societal expectation. It is mostly fueled by social media and societal expectation. A lot of people, their self-esteem has dropped as a result of social media. What you see on social media, some people live at uncut, because what they only see is just this good life, this luxurious life. Oh, this is beauty, this is lovely. And you just begin to compare. You do that comparative analysis, begin to compare. And I've always said this several times. You don't compare somebody's highlights or somebody's reels of 2 minutes and compare a 2-minute video with your own life that you've been living for over 30, 40, 50 years. It doesn't how you compare. Your life journey over the years, working hard, putting a lot of effort, doing your own thing, and you just watch a short video of somebody in 2 minutes or 1 minute, and you begin to compare and begin to look at your life that, wow, I've been wasting my life all these years. I've not achieved anything. Who told you you've not achieved anything? You begin to doubt everything you are. That goal, that objective, everything you've set out for yourself, you begin to doubt it. And most of the time, if you're not careful, you realize that you are living somebody else's dream. Because if you don't know where you are going, every bus stop will look similar. It will look like your final destination, even though that's not your final destination. But if you know where you're going, you stick to it. The importance of a postage stamp on a letter is the ability of that postage stamp to stick to the letter till the final destination. So you must be able to stick to your dreams, to your goals, to your objective, to everything you want to achieve in life. You must be able to stick with it till you get it right. But the moment you start looking at, comparing yourself with other people, with your friends in the diaspora, comparing your friends in your neighborhood, comparing your child with another person's child, begin to look at, this Mr. X has achieved this. Look at this boy's son. Look at my friend's daughter. She has achieved this and you are still here. And you begin to compare. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. You have your own journey. I have my own journey. So don't compare. Yes, you can learn from other people. You can, review somebody's life and say, I like the way this person is living his life. Okay, I think I can learn 1 or 2 things from this person. Absolutely correct. But by the time you now begin to mirror your life because of somebody else's journey and begin to say, my friend just bought a car, I must go and buy my car. I know someone who rented an apartment, got a very big apartment because of peer pressure. Now, when she got this apartment, because she usually travels annually, she goes on vacation with her children. And so, the moment her marriage crashed, she still wanted to show that, I can do it. She now started selling her properties, one after the other, to fund the lifestyle she was living many years back, when, quote unquote, the going was good. And she was just doing that, just because she wanted to further that lifestyle. I know somebody else also who she got an apartment, very beautiful duplex, and she has to go through getting loans to pay rent because she wanted to show off, to say that I live in this beautiful estate. So she gets a loan from the bank, from one of the microfinance banks, pays her rent, and now she has to hustle herself out to be able to pay the bank monthly. And I keep asking, you cannot fund this lifestyle. But when you ask them those questions, don't worry, copy till you become. Don't worry, let's just keep trying, let's just keep doing it. One day, it will happen. And I'm like, when you live a life of debt, because you want to stay in an estate where you're paying 10 million, 15 million per annum, and you have to go to the bank to borrow money, not for business, not for any other thing. You pay your rent, you now begin to run helter-skelter because you have to pay a certain amount every month to the bank. Just because you want to meet societal expectation. The assumption is that, she used to travel a lot. I used to know her. Oh, she's so you still want to live that life because you want people to see that I'm not broke. I'm still doing very well. You just live in denial. And this affects you as an individual. So these voices that creeps into our head can become so loud that they can drown out our confidence. It can drown your confidence, your creativity, and also your peace of mind. And if you're not careful, over time, it leads to anxiety, depression, and even physical stress. And you see a lot of people, they will tell you that, oh, I'm just having a headache. Oh, I can't sleep at night. People are suffering from insomnia today, or they're having depressive tendencies or feeling fatigued, not as a result of stressors that come from maybe their work or things around them. It is just because of overthinking. And I know one of the popular Nigerian artists has said, overthinking no dey solve problem. It does not. Overthinking no dey solve problem. So if you overthink and overthink and overthink, and it leads to depressive tendencies, fatigue, constant headache, you just find out that your health will just be deteriorating, and it just affects you as an individual. So please, you need to really look into yourself and ask yourself critical questions. Critical questions. Because self-doubt kills and it harms the body. So how do you overcome self-doubt? How do you not allow it weigh you down? Because from what the discussion we've been having since, it means that it affects everybody, whether the rich, whichever class you belong to, it affects you as an individual. Because life issues, things around you would always, creep it. I'm looking at our Facebook, and I can see some messages dropping. We have a message from Topsy J. He says, when your self-esteem is low, you doubt yourself. Okay, you doubt yourself more. You start questioning your worth, your choices, and whether you are good enough, even if you can do it. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And so Beauty is saying, she's answering our question of the day, talking about whether she's speaking whether living well or living long. So she said, to live well or to live long. How about both? She wants to live well and also live long. We are saying you should choose one. You must pick one. Whether you want to live well or you want to live long. Which would you love? Which would you prefer at the end of the day? You can join the conversation. 07041007949, or you drop a message on WhatsApp 09158494949, or you drop a message on our Facebook channel, Olusegun Odufuwa, on Facebook. So, how do you overcome self-doubt? That's a very, very big question. How do you overcome self-doubt? So, I got a message here saying, okay, low self-esteem increases self-doubt while high self-esteem reduces it. Absolutely correct. Low self-esteem definitely increases self-doubt, because once you have a low self-esteem, ordinarily it means that you don't believe in yourself so much. Your self-worth is very low, and once your self-worth is low, then you're already doubting yourself. It means that you're just asking a lot of critical questions about yourself, whether you can achieve whatever you set out to achieve or not. And it kills, like I said, it affects you, kills your creativity, kills your confidence level, and at the end of the day, your peace of mind will just begin to wane down as much as possible. So how do you overcome self-doubt as we speak? So number one, you need to recognize the voice. You need to recognize the voice. Awareness is always the first step in anything. Even when you're going through when you're physically down or you're having, your health is deteriorating, whatever the case may be, the first thing is to be aware of the situation. So awareness is always the first step in everything. When it comes to healing, when you're trying to heal yourself, when you're trying to get better, you need to be first of all aware that, oh, there's a problem. Because if you're not aware there's a problem, then how do you solve that problem? So identification, being aware that you're lacking something, something is wrong somewhere, is the first step to growth, is the first step to healing. And so, how do you recognize the voice? Meaning, you must notice when self-talk creeps in. You must notice when negative self-talk creeps in. So, you must notice the pattern. That's what I'm trying to say. You must understand your pattern. At what point does negative self-talk comes in? At what point? Is it when you're trying to achieve something? Is it when probably you started doing what you were trying to do and you get to a point, maybe the finish line, almost done with the project or almost done with that idea, almost done with implementing something? Maybe that's when it creeps in. So you must understand the pattern when those negative self-talk comes in. Is it at the point of trying to do something? Or is it when you're trying to do something new? Or, because some people, because they've been doing something over time and all that and everything is fine. But when they try something new that they've never done before, maybe that's when the self-talk, negative self-talk creeps in. So you must understand your own pattern. At what point does that negative self-talk creeps in? So once you understand that pattern, then you must begin to ask yourself some internal questions. Is it a fact or just fear? Is it truly a fact that you can't do it, or you're just scared that you don't want to fail? So those are two very important questions you must ask yourself. Very important questions you must ask yourself. So are you saying that, once you understand the pattern that it comes with, knowing fully well that, okay, this is the time that each time I'm trying to do this thing or each time I'm trying to achieve something, that is when this negativity comes in. And once the negativity comes in and it's troubling your mind, having that internal battle with yourself, then you must begin to ask yourself that question. Is it just fact or is it just fear? If it's a fact, do I need to prepare more? Do I need to deal with it by working harder? If it's fear, which means you have the ability, but you're only scared of failing, so you must now face that fear. So it's very important that you understand that pattern of thought. Once you understand the pattern of thought, then you can now deal with it. And to deal with it is to challenge that thought. You must be able to challenge the thought. When something creeps in and says, you can't, or you can never do this, don't even try it, you will fail. Once those thoughts comes in, then you must fight it with something more positive. Very positive, by telling yourself that I'll try, I'll do it. And so it's like a pep talk. You're fighting yourself internally. Something is coming to your head. The negativity is driving you down. And as it's driving you down, you're also bringing in the positive energy that, don't worry, I'm going to do it. 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 And you just find out that suddenly that negative thought will just disappear. One way or the other, it will just disappear. And you're just left all by yourself. And you just do it. And you just realize that, people actually, they actually love what I did. I had a presentation yesterday, and we're 5 presenters. Okay, so when I got to the place, I was told that I was going to be presenting last. So the first person went presenting and did that thing. We all clapped. Okay, this is beautiful. There were a bit of questions and criticisms here and there, and very positive feedback. It was good. The second person did. When it got to the third person, my heartbeat was already shaking, like, hey, almost getting to my tongue. Like, am I well prepared for this? But I believed in my own abilities. I feel that, okay, I can do it because I've gone through these presentation slides. Everything is looking good. I think I should be able to do it. When it got to the fourth person, the kind of questions the panelists were asking, got me scared again, like, I'm truly prepared. But are you sure? If they ask me things I don't even know, will I be able to answer? So I was really scared. But one other part of me was like, Shagun, you've you've prepared for this. You can do it. Don't worry. Just go out there and do it. And suddenly they just called my name and said, okay, you're the last presenter. Okay, you can come upstage. And I got there and I just started. So the first thing I did was my carriage. I put a lot of positivity in my carriage, and the confidence level just, just increased. And immediately I just opened my laptop and just connected it, and I just started talking from the first word to the second sentence to the third sentence. I could notice in the eyes of the panelists, like, okay, I started seeing smiles. I like, I don't catch that today. And I started talking and talking and talking and talking. And the next thing was, oh, they were all clapping and this was beautiful. But the truth is, in my mind, I was nervous. I was shaking inside, but the output, the facial look on my face was like, oh, he's confident. But I was talking. So from the first to second words, I started talking and I could see that, okay, the atmosphere was cooler, it was safer, and I could just express myself as much as I could. And it became very interesting. So sometimes it's just, nobody's saying you shouldn't be nervous. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't be scared. But build yourself up in such a way that, which takes me back to personal development. You must be prepared, because there's a difference between face validity and content validity. Face validity is your output saying that, okay, you have the outlook of a confident person. What about the content validity? What do you have inside? If you don't prepare well, if you don't prepare yourself well, if you go out there, you chicken out. Because when push comes to shove, you just chicken out. So you must be well prepared. Once you're well prepared, no matter the fear, it could be stage fright. It could be, oh, you're just scared because, there are a lot of people in the room that wants to listen to you. That like you're doubting yourself whether you could do it. But because you're well prepared for it, the moment you go out there and just talk to yourself positively that I can do it, and you say the first word, second word comes out from your mouth, you just realize that you'll be able to express yourself as much as possible. And that confidence level will just start building. So it just takes you to take that right step, and which is the very positive step. If you don't take that positive step and you just face everything and run rather than face everything and rise, you just keep running. And to grow is to face your fears, face your doubts, face it head on, and overcome it. And overcoming it is just through positivity. So, also very importantly is to practice mindfulness. How many of us do journaling? How many of us meditate? How many of us stay in silence? The noise around us is just too much. The noise around us is too much. Particularly when you look at the environment we all live in, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of challenges everywhere. There's struggle, pressure. The only way you need to practice mindfulness is to meditate once in a while. Meditate, internalize your thoughts. Carry out what is called introspection. Introspection is just to have a bit of internal review. Begin to talk to yourself. Have that quiet time. Don't live inside the noise. Move yourself out of the noise once in a while. You could, out of 24 hours a day, even if it's 30 minutes of your time, before you go to bed or very early in the morning, just practice a bit of meditation. Galvanize your thoughts. Build positivity around yourself. Build that aura of positivity, and just step out of your house and say, okay, today is going to be good for me. And just go out there. And you just realize that that positive aura would keep you going throughout the day, because you've built yourself with positivity. So you must try meditation once in a while. Try journaling. Once you have, journaling is just about, putting down things, writing it down as much as it comes to your mind. And if spirituality is good, praying and all of those things is good. If it's praying, fine, it's good. But sometimes just try other things. Journal your thoughts, meditate, do some exercises, and most importantly, stay in silence. because of the pressure. The pressure around us is just too much. So you need to just withdraw yourself and just, keep yourself out of that pressure. Stay calm, talk to yourself, build your positivity, galvanize your thoughts properly, and you go out there again. And so we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll round it up as we continue this beautiful discussion talking about overcoming the weight of doubt. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Dr. Slicks right here on Wash FM 94.9, your fun health radio. And we're talking about overcoming the weight of doubt. We've been having this conversation, very interesting, trying to do some analysis, talking about how do you overcome the weight of doubt. And talked about how self-doubt is one of the most common internal battles we face as individuals. Already talked about how some of these internal battles, such as overthinking, negative self-talk, paralysis in decision-making, and low self-esteem, and comparison. So, also shared a bit of thoughts about how do you really overcome all of these things. So, talking about recognizing the voice, which is the negative self-talk that creeps in whenever you're trying. So, you need to understand the pattern, like I said before. Once you recognize the pattern and the negative self-talk creeps in, you must be able to challenge that thought. And how do you challenge that thought? Challenge the thought with positive voice. You need to challenge the thought with positive voice. And I mentioned about also talking about content validity and face validity, which means that in as much as we try to pose a positive outlook, you must also understand that for you to have content validity, you must be able to develop yourself. So how do you develop yourself? You need to feed yourself with positivity, because it is what you have that you give. The makeup of a human being is like a computer system. It is what you save into your computer system that you retrieve at any point in time. You can't go to your laptop now and begin to request for things you did not save inside. It is what you save as your documents, whether your desktop or in whatever folder you save your documents in, is what you retrieve whenever you need them. You can't go to your system and begin to control find or begin to search for things that you did not save there. So it is what you invest in yourself. It is those things that you feed yourself with, particularly when you feed yourself with positivity, that whenever there's a bit of negative talk, that is the positive side, the positive reservoir that you've kept inside of yourself, that you now begin to need it. So you need to begin to read uplifting books, listen to encouraging content, and surround yourself basically with people who believe in you, which is very, very important. Check your circle. What kind of circle do you play in? What kind of circle do you have? Your friends, your family, everybody around you. Who are the kind of people you deal with on a daily basis? Those people you have around you, are they people that believe in you, or people that just feed on you? So there's some people that just flock around you all because they get something from you, or because they need something from you. But you need to be around people that truly believe in you, believe in your abilities, believe in your knowledge, believe in your skills, and believe in your thought process, particularly your ideas. So once you have that, then you're able to get better, because you need people that are also very taller than you. Taller than you this time around. I'm not talking about taller than you. Taller than you meaning people who are better than you, people who could raise you up, people who could lift you up and take you to another level. So with all of that, you begin to also, very importantly, limit comparison. Everyone's journey is unique, but focus on your progress, not perfection. So don't just focus on you want to be perfect all the time. Don't look at societal expectation. Don't look at you can view people's social media status, people's social media pages. Just enjoy it, acknowledge success, encourage them, support them, but don't begin to compare their life with your life, because your own journey is unique. You are specially and beautifully made. So you must look at your own path, create your own destiny, create your own journey. So take action despite fear. No matter the situation, confidence is built by doing. confidence is built by doing. And remember that small wins over time silence the doubting voice. Small wins over time usually silence the doubting voice. So, fear will come in, like I always say. Challenges will come in once in a while, but you must take action. No matter the situation, take action. Don't let fear slow you down. Don't let anything slow you down. Don't limit yourself. Don't begin to doubt yourself. Take action despite the situation you find yourself in, because as you take action, you are driving yourself towards your success. Very, very importantly. So remember that the voices in your head will always exist, but you get to choose which one takes center stage. Very, very importantly, because you are the author and finisher of your life. You decide everything around yourself. So no matter there's positivity, the voice of positivity talking to you, the voice of negativity talking to you. But which one will you increase the volume? You are the one in control of the volume. So which one are you going to increase the volume? Are you increasing the negativity voice, or you're increasing the positivity voice? So you must determine which one you want to take center stage. So when you stop doubt, feed confidence. When you stop doubt, feed confidence. You break free from the weight of overthinking and step into the fullness of your potential. Very, very importantly. So we're gonna that brings us to the end of tonight's edition of Mind Talk with Dr. Slicks on Mind Wash FM 94.9. It's been very interesting. We've talked about silencing those negative voices, taming overthinking, and rising above self-doubt, because you deserve clarity and peace of mind. So thank you for the messages on Facebook. Let's keep the conversation going beyond the show. You can always join me on the Facebook, Instagram, Olusegun Odufoa, Dr. Slicks on Instagram. And you can also reflect on the question of the day: would you choose to live well or to live long? Before I go, Gaius, which would you prefer to choose? Living well or living long?
I'd want to live well. Yes.
But I thought living long is you see your children.
I personally, it doesn't really matter how long, right? But it's how well. Look at the Charlie Kirk we're talking about. I look at his life and I feel like he would not be regretting. Yes. So it's not about
Methuselah. Well, I agree with you. But if you ask me, I think I want both. I want to live well.
Well, you have to choose one.
Okay, so until next time, I'm Dr. Slicks Olusegun Odufoa, reminding you, hear your mind, live your best life, and always keep the conversations alive. Good night, and God bless you.